Right, so now I created more categories: mobiles, iPhone, Samsung, headphones, laptops, Xiaomi, and also more products. So we have like headsets and everything. We have 2 different iPhones, and we have a Xiaomi phone, and we have different laptops, and so on. So we are done with categories and products. But one more thing that we need is actually admin's page. So for now, if I log out, first I don't have any logout button, but I need to have a logout button. And even if I log out, anyone can actually log in and edit the products and so on. So we need to create a page for creating and removing admins. So first let's start with a logout button. I will go to my navigation component, and let's see, maybe here at the bottom, let's put, I will just copy this settings link, and we don't need any active or inactive link because it will always be inactive. I can just put here as a string inactive like this, and we don't need any link here, href, and it doesn't need to be a link. I will just change it to button. Let's see, closing tag button, yes. Instead of settings, it will be logout. And now let's fix the icon. So let's go to hero icons. Let's search for sign out or logout. Yeah, maybe this one. So I will select this SVG and I will paste this one. And now let's see how it looks like. Almost fine, but looks a little bit weird here. Let's see. We have this SVG here, logout. It's inactive, but the content looks a little odd. And I think maybe we can just change this to span. And this helped a little bit. Now we have this inactive. Let's see what classes do we have here. It should be flex. Yeah, but it's not next to each other. Let's see why. It's not next to each other because it should be inactive link as class names. So let's fix it. We can probably just put back this to span, and let's do just inactive link. And it should be a variable. So let's put it as a variable like this, inactive link. Now let's see, it's a button and it looks just fine. So when we click on it, let's add on click. We want to run, we want to log out. I think there's a simple function for this, sign out. Yes, so I'm going to import it from Nextauth, and I will just use arrow function here to sign out. And let's see what will happen now if I click on it. I will refresh and click, and everything worked. So now I'm not logged in anymore, but even if I log in back with my user, and the problem is I can log in with any Gmail account, and it shouldn't be possible. So we need to have a page for all admins, or we should at least select who can log in or who cannot. So for this, let's go first to our API, auth and Nextauth, and let's see here. Here in our configuration, we have providers, we have adapter, but we can also assign callbacks. And the one callback that we are going to use is JW token. And it will be a function. And here inside we will have, we can grab properties or params like token. We will have also account and the profile. And the only thing we need to do so it will still work is that we just need to return token, and that's it. Now we can maybe console log everything to see what's inside. So let's do console log and let's print everything. I will open console here. Now let's try to log out and let's try to log in again. I will log in as my user, and now let's see what do we have here. So now, although they say in the documentation that this function should run every time we assign a token, JWT token, it looks for me that it's not run. So instead, I'm going to use a session, which should be run every time a session is checked. So that's perfect for us. We have session here, and we can have also token and user, and we need to just return session to make it work. But let's print everything. Let's maybe print session, token, and user to see if this will work now. I will log out and I will log in again with my user, and we are now logged in, and as you can see we have some console logs here, like for example token is undefined, but that's okay. We have some session with my email, and here we have the user. Maybe we can check something here inside, let's say inside session we can check that the session user has a specific email, and then we can validate the user this way. So let's change this to check if we have session, user, and this email. So let's do something like this, and we will check that either session user email is my email or user email is my email. But let's start with session user email, and let's see if this will work. I will define admin emails here. Let's do const admin emails, and I will here put an array, and for now it will be only my email. And let's see, here we will do if session user and email, and we want to see if this email is inside this array. So let's check this way. Admin emails includes, if it includes this email inside session user email, then the email is correct and we can do return a session. Otherwise, let's say it will just return false. So I guess we will not be logged in, right? And now let's see if this still works. I can log out, and let's see if I can log in. Yes, looks like everything works. Now I will log out, and let's see what happens if I will change this email to Gmail, something like this. Let's log in. Let's try with my user, and we cannot log in. So this doesn't work anymore. I cannot log in. But if I put this back, then everything works. I can still log in and everything works. Now there are a few more things that we need to secure. Let's go to, for example, categories. Here we are connecting to the database, and then we have a GET request, POST request, and so on. But the problem is here in this handle function, we are not checking if we are a proper admin. We are not checking if the person that we are not even checking that we are logged in. So to fix it, we can maybe just grab a session. So let's do get server session, yeah, like this, and let's do const session equals await get server session, and let's just do a console log, and let's see what's inside this session. So now if we open a terminal here let's go to categories. And well, looks like we get a small error here. And we get this error because I forgot that we need to pass some information here, and we need to pass request, I guess, here inside. So let's put request here. So we are going to pass now a request, and we also need to pass a response, and we need to pass the config for our authentication. So all this config, we need to put it first into a constant here. So let's call it maybe of options equals this, and let's export it as well. And now we are going to use it here. So let's do it like this, and now we can use those options even here, of options. Yeah, and it has been imported for me. So now let's see if we have any session here. So if I go back to products categories, yeah, as you can see, we have some information here. We get user, and we get when the session expires. So inside the user, we get the email. So this way we can check inside every function, every handler, that the session has a user with emails that are inside admin emails. But to make this simpler, I will make a separate function, maybe here, and I will do something like this. Let's do export function is admin request. Let's call it this way, and it will take request and response, because we need this from every request, every handler, and it will just grab the session. So let's do const session equals get server session. Here, as always, request, response, and of options. So let's use it. Here we need to add a wait, and async here, async function, and let's see. Then we will have a session, and inside session we need to check that user email is inside admin emails. So let's do if admin emails includes, and now let's do session user email, then everything is correct. But if it doesn't, then let's throw an error. Let's throw an error, not admin. Yeah, something like this. And then we can now reuse is admin request instead of this. So let's do just await is admin request response. All right. And now if I comment this out, let's see if we can call this function to get all the categories. I will open this in new tab. We get JSON, and even if I log out, I can still refresh this page and I can see all the categories, or I can change it to products and it will work for products as well. But let's see what happens if I uncomment this. Await is admin request. If I refresh, I get an error, not admin. Maybe I should change it so it will be not an admin. But yeah, you understand, you will get an error. On the production environment, it will not be, you will not see all this stack like this, but it will just be an error, and like 500, and something went wrong, and you will not see this JSON. But if I log in back to my user, I can now refresh here and I can see the JSON. So we should put this protection inside every API handler. So let's see, we have it inside categories. Now we need to put it to products as well, and even for upload. So here for upload, let's see, here we need to first connect to the database. So let's do await mongoose connect, and then we can do await ACE admin request. And that should be it for our production. If you want, you can easily add a sub page here for admins, where you can create and delete admins. And when you have admins inside the database, then you can check here inside authentication next auth. Here, instead of getting an array, you can change this to function like isAdmin, and then you can do a request to the database with all the admins that you put it to the database. Right, but now let's go back to our admin. So we have products, categories, and everything works, and we can even log out and sign in with different user, or at least we can try. But let's see, we have a problem here, and this is because we are trying to get categories even if we are not logged in. So the problem is that actually we shouldn't be on a specific page when we are signing out. Instead, it should take us to a different page, right? Let's see, maybe first inside our layout. Here we have components, layout. Yeah, here we have data. Here we are checking for the session. And if we don't have any session, then it will just say login with Google, a button. But even if we have a session, but the URL is weird, we shouldn't be at this URL. So let's go to our navigation. And instead of calling this just sign out, I will define a function here somewhere at the top. Function, let's call this one logout. And I will use router to push us to different location, to just slash. And then I will call this sign out. And I will add await here, and I will make this async function. And now let's try to use this function instead. So I can put it like this, or I can actually just put logout. It should work as well. Let's go to categories, and now let's log out. And now everything works. It redirected us to the start page, because if we go to categories, we will get an error because we are not logged in. That's why we have 500 error. But if we log in with proper account, we can go back to categories and everything works. We can maybe also try to change the 500 error to something else. So let's go back to next auth. As you remember, we have this response here. So let's maybe do response, and let's do status. Let's do status, and let's say this status will be here, because if we are not an admin, then we want to have a status of, let's say, 4.1, and not an admin. And if we are done with the request, it's good to do just response and end like this. And now let's see if we log out, and if I go to slash categories, we get request failed with code 4.1. That's because we are not logged in. So now we don't even see this message, but that's not a problem. So if someone tries to hack now our admin panel and goes directly to categories, that person will not see anything. Even here for API request to see the JSON, if I refresh, as you can see, this page is not working, HTTP error 4.1, so you cannot see anything. It just doesn't work. You get 4.1. own categories. So if I go back, I can log in, but you need to have a specific account. So I can log in with this user, but I cannot log in with other users because this email is defined here. Right, so now our admin panel is secure. So now I guess we can go to our front and we can try to list all of those products and build something that we can actually create orders so we can later see them here inside orders.